Hi students, in my previous video I completed concentration terms and the problems based on the concentration terms, that is weight percentage, weight volume percentage, mole fraction, molarity, normality and parts per million. Okay, now come to a very important concept, that is the equivalent concept or equivalent weight. Equivalent concept. Now, in equivalent concept, mainly suppose if you want to calculate the normality of a solution. What is the definition of a normality? Number of gram equivalents of a solute that is present in the 1 liter solution. Now how to find the number of gram equivalents? Okay, for such purpose we require equivalent concept. Okay, now here we know the mole concept. Now it is equivalent concept. In mole concept, we know how to calculate the number of moles of a substance. Number of moles is equal to given mass upon molar mass. Given mass upon molar mass. It is also known as a number of gram moles. Number of gram moles. How to calculate the number of moles or number of gram moles? Given mass divided by the molar mass. Let's suppose if the number of gram moles, let's suppose equal to 1. Let's suppose number of moles equal to 1. Then what about the relation between mass and molar mass? So mass is equal to what? Molar mass. Mass is equal to molar mass. Now, for 1 mole of a substance, the mass is always equal to its molar mass. 1 mole of a substance, the mass will be always equal to its molar mass. Its molar mass. Now come to equivalent concept. From equivalent concept, number of equivalents is equal to, here also, mass upon gram या equivalent mass. It is also known as a number of gram equivalents. Let's suppose number of equivalents is 1. Then what is the relation between the mass and equivalent mass? Mass of a substance will be equal to equivalent mass. This is the one equivalent. What is the definition of a one equivalent? The mass of a substance will be equal to its equivalent mass, then it is called 1 gram equivalent. It is called what? Number of gram equivalents is 1. When the number of gram equivalents will become 1? When the mass of a substance will be equal to its equivalent mass. Now, we know how to calculate the molar mass. Molar mass nothing but the mass corresponding to 1 mole of a substance. Suppose in case of a compound, if we add all the masses of atomic weights, so that we get the molar mass. Some of the atomic masses will give the molar mass. Okay. Now what about the equivalent mass? How we can calculate this equivalent mass? There is a formula to calculate the equivalent mass or equivalent weight. It is also referred as a equivalent weight or equivalent mass is equal to molar mass upon n factor. Molar mass upon N factor. N factor is also referred as a valency factor. Is also referred as a valency factor. Now, how to calculate the equivalent mass or equivalent mass of any substance? The molar mass of a substance divided by N factor or valency factor. Now, this is very important to calculate the N factor. Once we know the calculation of N factor or a valency factor of any compound, so dividing the N factor by its molar mass, so that we will get the equivalent mass. Once we know the equivalent mass, we can find the number of equivalents. We can find the number of equivalents. Yes or no? Now, the calculation of N factor, it is a very important concept. So you may have questions in the JEE NEET advanced level point of view. So this is a very important concept to calculate the N factor. Now, in this mole concept, let's suppose I have one equation, small n moles of capital A, small b moles of a capital B, small c moles of a capital D, and small d moles of a capital D. In this reaction must be, that is the equation must be balanced. The equation must be balanced. So when we are using in mole concept, A moles of capital A react with small b moles of capital B to give small c moles of capital C and small d moles of capital D. In this mole concept, compulsory we need balanced equation. Whenever we are dealing with moles, compulsory we have to balance the equation. We have to balance the equation. But in this situation, that is the mole concept situation, same equation I am writing. Now, here the equation need not be balanced. This equation need not be balanced because the concept is equivalent concept. Equivalent concept is equal to, let's suppose 1 gram equivalent A react with 1 gram equivalent B to give 1 gram equivalent C and 1 gram equivalent D. Here we deals with the number of equivalents, not with the number of moles. Let's suppose 1 gram equivalent of A will react with 1 gram equivalent of B. Let's suppose if we take the 2 gram equivalents of A, then again 2 gram equivalent of B to produce 2 gram equivalent of C and 2 gram equivalents of D. So all the number of equivalents of reactants will be equal to number of equivalents of product. This is called law of chemical equivalence. This is called what? Law of chemical equivalence. Let's say number of gram equivalents of A will be equal to what? Number of gram equivalents of B will be equal to what? Number of gram equivalents of C will be equal to what? Number of gram equivalents of D. So in this reaction, all the number of equivalents remaining same. Number of equivalents of reactant will be equal to number of equivalents of products. This is the concept of equivalent. In this what happens? No need of balanced equation. This is very important. Suppose if the reaction is not balancing, so according to mole concept, if we want to solve the numerical, we must balance the equation first of all, then we have to calculate number of moles of corresponding reactants or products. But here, no need of balancing of any equation, only by using the concept of equivalent mass. So we can find the number of equivalents of reactants or number of equivalents of the products. Okay. Now, in this equivalent concept, given mass divided by equivalent mass. Okay, now equivalent mass or equivalent weight, how to calculate? Molar mass of the substance divided by n factor or valency factor. Okay, let's suppose I have to calculate the normality of a solution. It is a conservation term. It is a conservation term which involve the equivalent concept. Okay. What is the definition of normality? It is the number of gram equivalence of a solute that present in 1 liter or 1000 milliliter solution at constant temperature. So suppose if we want to calculate the normality of a solution, obviously we require the number of equivalents. When we dealing with molarity, number of moles per liter, we know how to calculate the number of moles given mass upon molar mass. Okay, so it is very easy to calculate the molarity, but it is not such easy like calculation of normality. Okay, now normality, number of equivalents of a substance that present in the 1 liter solution. How to calculate the number of equivalents of a substance? That is the mass upon equivalent mass. Okay, now to number of gram equivalents of a solute divided by volume of solution in liters. Now how to find the number of gram equivalents of a substance? Mass upon gram equivalent mass into 1 by volume in liters. Otherwise, if the volume is given in milliliters, so we have 1000 by volume in milliliters. So this is the formula to calculate the number of normality of a given solution. So weight of a solute given to you. Now gram equivalent weight, we have to find how to find the equivalent mass. There is a formula to find the equivalent mass. Equivalent mass is equal to this is the formula, molar mass divided by n factor. Molar mass divided by what? N factor. Okay. So this is the concept of the normality. When we are dealing with the normality, we must know the number of equivalents of a substance. How to find the number of equivalents of a substance? Given mass upon equivalent mass. Next, how to find the gram equivalent weight of a substance? Molar mass upon n factor. Now, what is the definition of a equivalent mass or equivalent weight? What is the definition of equivalent mass or equivalent weight? Now here, it is the mass of a substance which react or displaces directly or indirectly 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen. or 35.5 parts by mass of chlorine, or 23 parts by mass of sodium metal, or 108 parts by mass of silver. Now, see the definition once again. It is the mass of a substance which combine or displaces directly or indirectly 1.008 parts by mass of hydrogen, 8 parts by mass of oxygen, 35.5 parts by mass of chlorine, 23 parts by mass of sodium, 108 parts by mass of the silver. Now, what is the meaning of 1.008 parts? That is the 1.008 grams of hydrogen. If any substance which react or which combine, which displaces approximately, let's say 1 gram of a hydrogen, or 8 grams of a oxygen, or 35.5 parts, that is the grams of a chlorine, or 23 grams of a sodium, or 108 grams of a silver, then the mass of that substance is called 1 gram equivalent. 1 gram equivalent. Are you getting my point? Now, here these are the some reference elements: hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, sodium and silver. These are the some reference elements by which we can calculate the equivalent mass of the other substance. Okay. Now, one more important thing. This equivalent mass is a pure number. It is a pure number. Okay. Next, this equivalent mass of a species not fixed. Suppose if you see one particular species, one particular compound, the equivalent mass may be changes, which depend on the reaction conditions. Reaction conditions. Now, equivalent mass, it is the mass of a substance which reacts or displaces directly or indirectly 1 gram of a hydrogen, or 8 grams of a oxygen, 35.5 grams of a chlorine, 23 grams of a sodium, 108 grams of a silver. Now, these are some standard elements whose equivalent mass is fixed, by comparing which we can find the equivalent mass of an unknown element or unknown substance. Okay. Now, equivalent mass is a pure number. Equivalent mass is not a fixed quantity. It can be variable, which depend upon the reaction conditions. That's why this is very important. Now, how to calculate the equivalent weight? Just now I told you, molecular weight or molar mass divided by what? N factor. Remember, molar mass is fixed. Molar mass is always fixed. Yes or no? But equivalent weight is not fixed. Because the denominator N factor is variable. Same substance. same substance will have different N factor in different reaction condition. We will see how to calculate the N factor of substances. Okay, so by changing the N factor, even though molar mass is fixed, but the equivalent weight is not fixed, so that's why equivalent weight is a variable quantity. Is a variable quantity that will depend on what? Reaction conditions. That will depend on what? Reaction conditions. Now, here I am taking some examples: hydrogen, oxygen, chlorine, sodium and silver. These are important referring elements. By referring of these elements, we can calculate the equivalent weight of unknown element. We can calculate the equivalent weight of unknown element. Okay. Now here you see, let's suppose magnesium combining with oxygen to give magnesium oxide. What is the question? Calculate the equivalent weight of the following metals. This is the first question. Okay. Now, second question: calcium combined with chlorine to give calcium chloride. Aluminium combined with chlorine to give aluminium chloride. Now the question is, calculate the equivalent weight of magnesium, calcium and aluminium. Now you see, in the first question, magnesium combined with oxygen to give magnesium oxide. Yes or no? Now this reaction is not balanced because here oxygen atoms are 2, here only one oxygen atom is there. So I am balancing the equation first of all. Yes or no? Now it is the balanced equation. Now see, how many moles of magnesium? 2 moles. How many moles of oxygen? 1 mole. By unitary method, we can calculate the equivalent weight of the magnesium. Let's suppose, do you know what is the molar mass of oxygen? 32 grams. What is the molar mass of magnesium? 24. Because atomic weight is 12, atomic mass is 24. 1 mole 24, 2 moles 2 into 24. Yes or no? Now this is the unitary method. Now 32 grams oxygen reacting with 2 into 24 grams magnesium. Yes or no? Yes. What is the standard equivalent weight of oxygen I am taking? 8. Let's suppose if 8 grams of oxygen will definitely combine with how many grams of magnesium will be equal to the equivalent weight of that magnesium? Yes. Unitary method, 8 into 2 into 24 divided by 32. Okay. Now 8 ones are 8 fours are 2 ones are 2 twos are 2 ones are 2 twelves are. So you will get 12 grams. 12 grams is the equivalent weight of the magnesium. 12 grams is the equivalent weight of the magnesium. Okay. Once again, magnesium combined with oxygen to give magnesium oxide. Now I am balancing 2 moles of magnesium corresponding to 1 mole of oxygen. That means 32 grams of oxygen required for 2 into 24 grams of a magnesium. So how many 8 grams of oxygen will combine with how many grams of magnesium? That will be the 12 grams. The 12 is the equivalent weight of the magnesium. Okay. Now come to second problem. Second problem. Calcium combined with chlorine to give calcium chloride. Yes, the equation is balanced. Now compare the moles of chlorine and calcium. 1 mole calcium, 1 mole chlorine. Do you know atomic mass of calcium is 40 gram per mole and chlorine is 71 gram per mole. Okay. Now 71 gram chlorine required 40 grams calcium for the reaction. Now what is the standard value of elementary chlorine? 35.5 grams. Then 35.5 grams chlorine will require how many grams of calcium? 71 grams chlorine required 40 grams of a calcium. Then 35.5 grams of chlorine will require how much? 35.5 into 40 divided by 71. It will be 2 tables. So 20 grams. 20 grams is the equivalent weight of calcium. Okay. Now come to question number 3. Aluminium combined with chlorine to give aluminium chloride. Okay. Now come to balancing. 3 2s are 2 3s are. Chlorine atoms are balanced. Now aluminium also balanced. Okay. Now how many moles of aluminium? How many moles of chlorine? 3 moles. So 3 into how many grams? 71 grams. 2 into how many grams? 27 grams. Because 1 mole aluminium is equal to 27 grams. 3 into 71 gram chlorine required 2 into 27 grams aluminium. Yes or no? Then what is the equivalent weight of chlorine? 35.5 grams of chlorine will react with how many grams of aluminium? You will get 9 grams of aluminium. 9 grams of aluminium is the equivalent weight of aluminium. 20 grams of calcium is the equivalent weight of calcium. And 12 grams of magnesium is the equivalent weight of the magnesium. Equivalent weight of the magnesium. Are you getting my point? Now, here how to calculate the equivalent weight? Formula: molar mass upon n factor. Molar mass upon n factor. Now here we can calculate the equivalent weight of different substances by the calculation of the n factor. And molar mass we know. If we know the n factor, we can find the equivalent weight. Now how to calculate the n factor? N factor depending upon the substance. Which substance we are dealing? Let's suppose atom, let's suppose molecule, let's suppose ion, that may be positive charge or negative charge ion, maybe salt, maybe acid, maybe base, maybe oxidizing substance, maybe a reducing substance. Okay, depending upon the nature of the substance, so the n factor can changes. N factor can changes. Okay, now let's suppose I have how to identify, how to calculate the n factor. Let's suppose for elements n factor will be equal to its valency. Okay, let's suppose first group element is their valency 1, second group element is their valency 2, third group element is their valency 3. Okay, group number, group 1 valency 1, group 2 valency 2, group 3 valency 3. Okay, now group number what we say, this is 13, actually 13. Okay, group number 14 valency 4, group number 15 valency 5, group number 16 valency 2, group number 17 valency 1. Okay, so once we know the valency for any element, we can easily calculate its equivalent weight. Let's suppose sodium is there What is the equivalent weight of sodium? Molar mass, that is the 23. Sodium is a group 1, so valency is 1, so 23. Okay, let's suppose magnesium. How to find the equivalent weight of a magnesium? Magnesium molar mass, magnesium is a group 2, so you will get 12. Let's suppose aluminum is a group 13 element, valency is 3. Okay, now equivalent weight is equal to atomic weight of aluminum by valency, so that is the 9. Are you getting my point? So this is the calculation of n factor for elements. Number 1. Number 2, for ions. For ions. What is the n factor for ions? Ions n factor is equal to magnitude of the charge on the ion. We have to take the magnitude only. Okay, let's suppose sodium ion is there, magnesium ion is there, aluminum ion is there, chloride ion is there, oxide ion is there, nitride ion is there. Now, what is the equivalent weight of sodium ion? Atomic mass of sodium. We have to take the atomic mass. Okay, by valency, here the charge on the species. Here 24 by 2. Here 27 by 3. Here chlorine atomic mass 35.5 by 1. Oxygen atomic mass 16 by valency 2. That is the charge on the species. So you will get 8 here. Here 35.5. Here 9. Here 12. Here 23. Now come to nitrogen. Nitrogen in the form of nitride, atomic mass of nitrogen 14 by charge on the species. Okay, these are mono atomic species. Let's suppose we have polyatomic ions. Let's suppose ammonium ion is there, H3O plus hydronium ion is there, sulfate ion is there, carbonate ion is there, phosphate ion is there. Okay, now the n factor is equal to 1, n factor is equal to 1, n factor is 2, n factor is 2, n factor is here 3. The charge, the magnitude of the charge on the ion is referred as the n factor corresponding. Once we know the n factor, by simply molar mass divided by the n factor, you will get the equivalent weight. Okay, now come to number 3, n factor for salts. How to calculate the n factor of a salt? For a salt, n factor will be equal to the magnitude of the total charge on either cation or anion. Total charge on either cation or anion with only we have to take the magnitude. Okay, otherwise LCM of charge on cation and anion. Now let's suppose I have sodium chloride. This is a salt. What is the valence of a sodium? 1. Chlorine is also 1. Plus 1, minus 1. If you take the total charge on the cation or total charge on the anion, only we have to take the magnitude. So here n factor is equal to what? 1. N factor is equal to what? 1. Let's suppose sodium carbonate is there. Sodium carbonate is there. Now total charge on the cation plus 2 or anion minus 2. So we have to take only the charge. Let's suppose 2 sodiums are there, each sodium plus 1, 2 sodiums plus 2, this will be minus 2. Are you getting my point? Actually, it will be like this, 2Na plus CO3 2 minus. Total charge on cation or total charge on anion, the magnitude value. Okay, now come to MgCl2, its n factor will be equal to 2, AlCl3, its n factor is equal to 3. Let's suppose aluminum sulfate is there. Aluminum sulfate is there. Now each aluminum has valency 3. Each aluminum has valency 3. So total 2 aluminums are there, valency 6. So are you getting my point? It contains 2 Al plus 3 ions and 3 sulfate ions. If you see total charge on cation or anion, otherwise the LCM of the charge of cation and anion 2 into 3, that is the 6 is the n factor. 6 is the n factor. So n factor for elements, simply we can use the valency of that element. In case of ions, we have to use the n factor charge on the species. In case of salt, we have to take the total charge on either cation or anion, or LCM of the charge of the cation and anion. Okay. Now come to n factor for acids. N factor for acids and bases. How to calculate the n factor of acid and base? Now, fourth one, acids. Acids. How to calculate the equivalent weight of an acid? Again, formula is same. Molar mass divided by what? N factor. Now, what is the definition of an n factor of a acid? Okay. Now, how to define the n factor? Now, this n factor for acid is called basicity of acid. What we call? Basicity. For acids, what is the n factor? Basicity. What is the n factor? Basicity. Now, what is the definition of n factor or basicity corresponding to acid? It is the number of H plus ions. Number of H plus ions given by one molecule of an acid. One molecule of acid will give how many number of H plus ions in water? In water. One molecule of acid will give how many number of H plus ions is called basicity. That means actually acid will combine with base. Acid will produce H plus ions, base will produce OH minus ions. How many H plus ions of an acid will give to base? That's why it is called basicity. It is called what? Basicity. Okay. Now here there are different types of acids. Okay. Let's suppose I have acid. What is the basicity? Let's suppose I have different acids: hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, acetic acid, formic acid, benzoic acid, sulfuric acid, this is oxalic acid, this is benzoic acid, organic acid, formic acid, acetic acid. Now, what is the definition of a basicity? Once again, it is the number of H plus ions produced by 1 mole of a acid or 1 molecule of a acid when it is dissolved in water. Okay. Now, here, if you see hydrochloric acid, when it ionizes, it gives 1 H plus ion. Yes, that's why its n factor is 1. Its n factor is 1. Now I am writing here equivalent weight also. Equivalent weight is equal to what? Molecular weight by what? Basicity. So here molecular weight is m, let's suppose by 1, that is m. Equivalent weight is equal to what? Molecular weight upon n factor. Okay. Now, in case of HCl, it gives only 1 H plus ions. Just you see how many ionizable H plus ions are there in acid? 1. Now in HNO3 also it gives 1 H plus. So N factor is 1. So molecular weight by 1 is equal to molecular weight. Molecular weight by 1 is equal to molecular weight. Now come to acetic acid. How many hydrogens are ionizable in the form of H plus? You see acetic acid. Actually what we think, total 4 hydrogens are there. But actually out of these 4 hydrogens, only that hydrogen which is attached to more electronegative element, that is oxygen, is more acidic in nature. Okay. Now if you see the structure of acetic acid, CH3, C double bond OH. This is the Lewis structure of acetic acid. The hydrogen which is attached to more electronegative oxygen is responsible for acidic in nature. Okay, acidic nature. So that's why this is a monoacidic, monobasic acid. Here also formic acid, here also benzoic acid. All are mono because it give only on 1H plus, just like acetic acid. Formic acid is also basicity 1, benzoic acid is also basicity 1. Now when basicity is 1, then equivalent weight, molecular weight both are same. Remember, when the basicity is 1, when the N factor is 1, when the N factor is 1, equivalent weight, molecular weight both are same. Are you getting my point? Now HCl molar mass is 36.5. So equivalent weight, molecular weight both are same. Now HNO3 molar mass is 63. So 63 molecular weight, 63 equivalent weight also, because N factor is 1. For acetic acid, molar mass is 60, equivalent mass is also 60. Okay, like that you can calculate. Now come to sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid, if you see the structure of a sulfuric acid, actually you have structures in inorganic chemistry or in chemical bonding also. We know how to draw the Lewis structure of a compound. Okay, sulfur is the central atom. Sulfur has 6 valence electrons, so it is able to form 6 covalent bonds. Oxygen is a divalent, so oxygen is forming the hydrogen is a monovalent, so it is forming the single bond. Now you see how many OH groups are present here? 2. Okay, this is one ionizable H plus. This is also another ionizable H plus. Total there are 2 ionizable H plus ions are there. So we can take the N factor for sulfuric acid is 2. Okay. Now molecular weight divided by 2. What is the molecular weight of sulfuric acid? 98 divided by 2, that is 49. Equivalent weight of sulfuric acid is 49. Okay. Now come to oxalic acid. Oxalic acid has 2 ionizable H plus ions. 2 ionizable H plus ions. So 2 ionizable H plus ions. So N factor is 2. Oxalic acid molecular weight by 2. So molecular weight 90 by 2, that is the 45. Okay. Now here acids are basically 2 types. Hydra acids, oxo acids. Hydra acids in which hydrogen and other element, only 2 elements will be present here. Here hydrogen is present, oxygen is also present, and some other element and some other non-metal element is present. The acid which containing both hydrogen and oxygen is called oxo acid. In oxo acids, basicity, number of OH groups. Okay, number of OH groups. So this is the 2 OH groups are there, basicity 2. 2 OH groups are there, basicity 2. Only 1 OH group is there here, basicity is 1. Okay. Now come to some important acids. Ortho, phosphoric acid. H3PO3. It is known as ortho. Yeah, simply we can say phosphoric acid is also ortho phosphorus acid. H3PO2. phosphorus acid. Now, what is the basicity here? We can expect 3. Here also 3. Here also 3, because 3 hydrogens are present in each molecule. But actually, this is the basicity 2. This will be the basicity 2, and this will be the basicity 1. And equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight by 3. This will be molecular weight by 2, and this will be molecular weight by 1. Now you may have one doubt. So here 3 hydrogens are there, so you are writing the basicity 3, but here 3 hydrogens are there, still you are writing 2.